This episode of Android Weekly is brought to you by Domain.com. So Asus argues that if you consider buying a gold edition Apple Watch, you are out of your mind. But let's consider that. If you're a billionaire and have the cheddar, why not buy a gold edition Apple Watch? Well, it is a flashy way to announce to the world that you are among the upper echelon, you are among the 1%ers, and you look like a douchebag. I mean, why would I want to flaunt around an Apple logo just to demonstrate that that's the most expensive device in that category? So let's start off with a quick overview of the Apple Watch versus Android Wear. Starting with the software, both operating systems have been built around smartphone notifications and a selection of apps designed specifically for wearables. Android Wear arranges these into swappable cards, while Apple's OS arranges apps on a single home screen with full screen pop-up notification. However, rather than relying solely on a touch to navigate your way around, Apple's crown dial is also used to hop in and out of apps and alter some settings. Apple made a big deal about personalization during the announcement, and both platforms offer up a wide selection of watch faces to choose from. You can already find a huge range of watch faces made by third-party developers for Android Wear. Core functionality also shares a lot of similarities on both platforms. Notifications pinged from your mobile appear in real time, allowing for quick responses to messages, emails, calls, etc. Both platforms support common applications such as calendars, navigation, music control, weather checking, upcoming flight information, and voice commands. Speaking of which, Google Now plays a big part in Android Wear, while Siri assumes the voice responsibilities for Apple Watch. Google Now works for search, accessing apps, setting alarms, etc. And Siri allows for much of the same functionality and can be activated by voice command. Apple Pay is one big feature currently unmatched by Android Wear devices, which will allow you to make small payments in some stores directly from your wrist. Although you do have to hold the face of the watch against the contactless reader, which might involve some odd wrist twisting depending on the reader. The other half of the wearables battle is being fought on the health and fitness market, while both platforms offer up a lot of similar functionality. Most Android Wear smartwatches come with a heart rate monitor and a link up to your smartphone to track location and distances. The Apple Watch comes with a heart rate monitor and built-in GPS, like some more of the recent gen Android Wear devices such as the Sony Smartwatch 3, which means that you can leave your phone at home while going out for a run. With Android Wear, there's support for Google Fit and a selection of third-party apps that can all tap into the fitness hardware, most of which offers features like distance, step tracking, and health monitoring. Apple's Activity app can also track your day-to-day activities, or lack thereof, in much of the same way. Although there are plenty of different designs to pick from with Android Wear, most of the latest generation smartwatches feature surprisingly similar specifications. The tablet here gives an example of some of the best Android Wear products and how they compare with key hardware features offered by Apple's watch. One of the most important metrics for wearable is the battery life. Typically, our testing of Android Wear devices results in a maximum battery life of around 2 days, with the exception of the Moto 360, which seems substantially worse. During the Apple announcement, the device was stated to last 18 hours during, quote, typical usage, meaning that daily charging will be required for the watch and may not last under heavy usage. The Apple Watch supports wireless charging via a MagSafe induction connection. The Moto 360 uses Qi wireless charging, while most Android Wear products are charged through a physical connection to a docking station. On its debut into the smartwatch market, Apple also launched a Sport and Collector's Edition. Neither of these two add anything in terms of internal hardware, but the Sports version is aluminum rather than stainless steel. Prices for the watch range from $549 to $1,049 depending on the strap and build materials, and if you have money to burn, there is also an 18-karat or rose gold option available starting from $10,000. Now on the other hand, most of the Android Wear watches are significantly cheaper. My G Watch was about $200 and does most of the same things. So I know last week I botched the whole domain name extension thing. I was saying Shishka instead of Shiksha, which means education in Hindi. Thank you to all the 179 of you who told me that. I really appreciate it. So you have permission to just refer to me as jace.fail. Domain.com helps you do that. Because it's not just about .com, .net, or .org anymore, you now have the opportunity to name your site or build your brand in ways never before possible. Choose from a growing list of more than 200 domain name extensions, like .ninja, .nyc, .expert, .club, or in this case, .fail. All available at Domain.com. And the guys at Domain.com want to hook our viewers up with a great offer. Save 15% on domain names and web hosting when you use our coupon code Android at Domain.com checkout. Don't forget, it's 15% off when you use our coupon code Android. When you think of domain names, think of Domain.com. So you know the drill. My name's Jace. Connect with me here on Google Plus or Twitter. I did some meerkatting of this shoot, some live streaming, so people could talk to me as I was shooting, and it's nothing like you see here. I shoot like, I don't know, 10, 12 takes for every take that I actually use in the show. So people can comment, ask questions, and you know, if you make a meaningful contribution, I'll include it in the show. I'm going to do it for the next show, and then I'm off for a week. So I shall see you in one more show, and then next, March 22nd, weekly show. Don't forget about my brothers in Android, my brethren, who are working super hard to deliver the very best Android content on the web. I shall see you tomorrow on Android Q&A.